morning. I'm Sarah Hardymon, 4th grade teacher at Pinchbeck Elementary School, and this is my class. Today we are going to be talking about moving westward through the Cumberland Gap and how some people might have felt and what it was like during that time period. So, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I know we've been talking. Let's do a little bit of a review. What are the reasons why people were moving west? Why were they moving west? Niall?
Because things like the cotton gin and mechanical reaper were replacing jobs.
Great, you already went straight to my next part. Cotton gin has been invented, the mechanical reaper, we've looked at both of those. Those people are getting replaced and they need to go somewhere else, right? Great job. Ben?
They wanted to find new land to farm on.
Excellent, wanted to find new land to farm on. Next question. Hold on. How were they going? What was the path they were going on? What was the path? Caden?
Wilderness Road.
Okay, I've got up here, right, they went on Wilderness Road, and does anybody remember the name of the person that helped them be able to get through that path? Emma? Daniel Boone, very good. What did he do? Does anybody remember that part? What did he do, Harper?
He cut down the trees so then they could get through with their wagon.
Yes, great. Say that a little louder so everybody hears you.
He cut down the trees so then they could get through with their wagons.
Excellent. He cut down the trees so that our covered wagons could make it through, right?
Yeah.
I brought a few pictures today. It's been really hard to find some really good pictures, but I found some good pictures to share with you guys of the insides of a covered wagon. And this one, while this is a little bit of a more a younger book, I thought it had a pretty good picture of the inside of a covered wagon of all the different things. Remember we talked about that they would have put everything they could fit, right? All the stuff they own. This is what they would take with them. And I brought something from home. Some of you noticed it this morning when you came. It's right there in this picture. And I brought one that I have. Gala, can you read to us what that says?
Coffee mill.
It's a coffee mill. Does anybody want to take a guess on what that is? What's it? Lael?
It's like, is it like the coffee beans in the ground?
Yes. How many of you have an electric coffee grinder at home? Oh my goodness. Or you've been to the store and you've seen them where you could grind it, or you've been to Starbucks and you've watched them, you've heard that noise where they grind the coffee before they make it, right? Well, this is what they did before they had the mechanical versions. You would put your coffee beans in here, and there's probably a few little stray beans, and then you would close it and would crank it up. And then you'd have your coffee bean. It's ground up to make your coffee. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
And this was my grandparents. Not that my grandparents were that old, but they still had it, so it's kind of neat. That stayed around a long time until, what's that T word changed to make them so that we would plug them in?
Technology.
Good job, Hassan. Technology. Very good. Till technology changed. Awesome. Okay. I want to read to you just a little bit about what it would have been like to travel in a covered wagon, and then I've got some helpers today that are going to help me do something. A fully loaded covered wagon could weigh as much as 2,000 pounds. Anybody want to tell me what that is in mathematical terms, Kenita? 1 ton. Good job. A long walk. Life on the trail was hard. Wagons weren't large enough to store all of the pioneers' belongings, so everyone except for young children, the old, the ill, and pregnant women walked the entire way. So if you weren't old, a really young child, ill, or pregnant, you'd be walking. So how many of you think you'd be walking?
Oh.
All of you would be walking the entire way.
Unless you
Right.
were sick. Yeah.
Unless you were really sick, yes. This was, and so this is particularly about the Oregon Trail, which is past, and in Virginia studies, we don't really talk about this. We kind of just talk about this part, but it would have been people going even further west, okay? But the same things apply with the people here in Virginia that moved west. Every evening, wagons had to be unloaded for dinner and sleeping. Every morning, they were reloaded for the day's hike. Can you imagine? It'd be like unpacking your everything you owned out. Sleep in the covered wagon, then put it all back in every day. The typical wagon was narrow, so it could fit between the rocks and walls of mountain passes. And what's that mountain pass they're going to go through here? Cumberland Gap. Wagons were also sturdy enough to take the bumpy ride. They had wooden wheels wrapped with iron bands, and I have a really good picture of one that's bigger in this book to show you. This is what the wheels would have looked like.
Dang, they're old.
Yeah. Hang on just a second, I'll get your question. They had wooden wheels wrapped with iron bands, a handbrake, so you'd brake like, and a canvas cover for protection from rain and dust, like ours here. Wagons were pulled by teams of oxen or mules, and families slept in their wagons or in tents. Can you imagine? So, first off, what white hat thinking can you tell me? Now, white hat review. White hat is our what? Just the fact. So what white hat can you tell me so far about what we've learned? What can you tell me? Emma Claire?
Pregnant woman, sick children, and children that are super young, and the elder were in the cabin with all the stuff, not walking, but everybody else was walking.
Okay, great fact. Somebody else. Gella, tell us another fact.
That if people were sick like pregnant, they would be walking.
They would not be, right?
No,
So, another. Niall, do
They
you have
had
another?
to go through the Cumberland Gap.
Okay, great. That's a good fact. Niall? Go ahead, JoJo.
They had to take all their stuff out of the wagon and then sleep in the wagon, and then they have to put it back in, and then they keep on
Excellent. Lael?
their wagon was covered with covering so then it would protect it from the dust and rain.
Great. Awesome. Covered with a covering to protect it. Alex, last one.
They cut down the trees so they would make way for the wagons to go through the Cumberland
Okay.
Gap.
So all of those are just the facts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next little thing, I've got 4 people are going to help me read a little quick play to help us. And I want us to be thinking about what other hats these 4 people have on. So I'm going to start with we've got daughter, raise your hand, daughter, dad, mom, and son. They're in a covered wagon. All right, daughter, take it away, nice and loud.
I'm hot and tired of walking. When will we ever get there?
Sheena, we will be there soon. See that gap in the mountains? We are getting closer to being on the other side.
I'm pretty worried about our supplies. If I use a little more water in our pancake mixes, I can stretch out the batter and make it last longer. This is so exciting. I love helping Dad keep the cows in line as we walk.
Okay, so Miss Daughter over here, I'm hot and tired and walking. When will we ever get there? What kind of thinking what hat does she have on?
Black hat.
Black hat? Is she negative?
Yeah.
Very, right? She's not very happy about this whole thing. Dad, on the other hand, chin up. We'll be there soon. See that gap? Cumberland Gap is almost there. We're going to be there.
Yellow
What kind of hat does he have on?
Yellow.
The optimistic hat, right?
See
It's
the
going to
red
be
hat,
okay. What character in a book we're reading right now has that same optimistic hat?
Oh, I forgot his name.
You forgot his name? Harper, do you remember his name?
I think it was Joseph's dad.
And refugee, yes, Joseph's dad does.
No,
Good.
it's Muhammad's.
Muhammad's dad. Yes, leaving.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Muhammad's dad. Very good. But it's the dad, right, of the character. All right. And then Mom. I'm pretty worried about our supplies. If I use just a little more water in our pancake mix, I can make it stretch out. What does she have? Jacob?
I think a green hat.
Why do you think a green hat?
Because she said if I put a little bit more water on the pancake, it could stretch.
And so how's she thinking? Green hat is thinking what? Creative. And she's thinking a creative way to make their pancake mix last a little bit longer, right? She's a little worried, but she's trying, instead of being the negative Nelly, oh, woe is me, she's trying to she's problem solving and trying to think of a way to solve it. Very good. And then, this is so exciting. I love helping Dad with keep the cows in line.
Optimistic.
Is he optimistic?
Yeah.
He was happy
No.
about it.
It could be optimistic. What do you think now?
I think he's kind of right because he's telling how he's feeling about
like because maybe
He is
if
showing
the
emotion.
daughter had said that, she might have said it in a different way. Like, I don't like how dirty these oxes are.
Showing emotion and feeling, our red hat. Could we have said the daughter was also emotional and feeling?
Yeah.
We could have, yes.
But
Okay.
she was
But
more
she was very
judgmental.
negative and judgmental about the whole thing, wasn't she? But I think you could have argued the red hat, or what did you say, Kaden?
Yellow.
The yellow hat, either one. Looking positive on it and enjoying something. Not looking at, oh, I'm walking and whatnot. Turn and talk to your partner for just a moment. What do you think it would have been like traveling that far and knowing that all of you would have to walk? Turn and talk for just a second. Thank you. All right, who'd like to share not what you said, but what your partner said? Who would like to share what your partner said? Emma, what did your partner say?
She said she gets pancakes so she gets to sleep.
Monty. Niall, what did you say?
Kaden said, I would be super duper mad that,
Super
I have
duper
to
mad.
be walking outside when there's a little 3-year-old inside the wagon.
Oh, you'd be upset. So if it was a couple years ago when your little brother was inside, you'd be really upset that he was inside and you were outside? Okay. Alex, who was your partner? Jojo and Peter? Okay.
Jojo said that it's not fair that you have to walk in the wagon when the other people sit in the wagon. Some other people.
But it's your grandparents in the wagon or somebody ill.
Or pregnant.
Really?
Or your
Leo.
Zoe said she would pretend that she was ill so that she gets to
Zoe, you're going to pretend
That would
you're
be a
ill
good
so you can be
idea.
in the...
That's a good idea.
Zoe. Harper, who was your partner?
I had Jalen and Emma Claire. Jalen said, "Nope, I'm just gonna die."
Jalen.
Also good.
Hassan.
Emma Britta was my partner. She said she's just gonna hide in the wagon.
All right. We talked yesterday. About our assignment that we're going to start working on. And that is to create
A wagon.
a covered wagon out of
Legos.
Legos to go over top of our Ozobots to create a path across, down, in through the Cumberland Gap. Okay, so as a review, as we talked about yesterday, and I grabbed 2 different wheels, you're going to eat, in your groups, you're going to get 2 wheels. Remember that you have to do what? Stack them high. Now, I was thinking we could make it so it goes over it, or you could make it so that you connect it to the Ozobot. And the Ozobot acts like the mule or the horse, and you could pull it. So it's up to you and your team as you discuss how you want to do it and what you want to do. Okay? So again, you're going to get 2 wheels, plethora of Legos, okay? And then your goal is to create
A covered wagon.
a what?
Covered wagon for your Ozobot.
A covered wagon for your Ozobot, either going over your Ozobot or attaching it, right? And what is that Ozobot going to do? What are you going to program that Ozobot to do? What are you going to program it to do? Go through the Cumberland Gap, exactly. And I'm going to give you, so I have my maps of Virginia, and I'm going to give you extra paper to attach. I would suggest you build your Ozobot and you create your path first before you start labeling the regions of Virginia and before you start coloring it, because if you color it and then try to do your path, it's not going to work. The black and the marker it's not going to pick up. So you need to do your path first and then color around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does everybody understand that? And then I'm going to give you a second paper so that you can kind of attach it to the end to be Kentucky and Tennessee, because when they got out there, what did they build? Farms, houses, right. Don't you need to get them to go somewhere and have a farm? Right? Okay. So you can attach it so your group can add on. Yes. No.
Also, the reason why they're moving westward, another reason why they're doing that is because after the Revolutionary War, Great Britain gave them more land
There was more land. That is
towards
true.
the like Mississippi River,
Hmm.
so they could start moving.
They could start moving
more
westward.
inland.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So they're
right.
moving westward to get that land and have those opportunities, right? Okay, so let's review. In your groups, you're going to begin design first. Okay? So what do I need to see for your design? A drawing. Thank you. Glad somebody's awake this morning. You need to see a drawing, yes. And then you're gonna do your path, then embellish your Virginia, label your regions, draw your farm, and then we can watch your Ozobot code through as it goes through the regions down through the Cumberland Gap. Pat, question?
What is our group?
What is your group? That's a fabulous question. I'm going to tell you in a moment. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you had fun and learned a little bit here in 4th grade.
Go Braves!